Hello guys, welcome to ASP Screencast, Sociocultural Studies, last one of the year. I just wanted to screencast this very quickly as it is absolutely vital. This is number 2 in ranking out of the whole of the physical activity specification area. So this kind of last little bit we've done, this is going to be ranked question number 2. Number 1, compare physical recreation and sport characteristics. Number 2 is going to be the benefits of outdoor education and the constraints, what stops people, what stops schools from taking part in outdoor education. So basically, quickly to start off, the definition is exactly the same definition as physical education, but we know the word outdoor translates to natural environment. So basically, you've got the learning of physical, preparatory and personal skills in the natural environment now, because we've got that outdoor. So that's your first bit. Now, going down, as you can see, what we need to be able to answer is this. First of all, the characteristics that make outdoor education unique is that basically it is part, firstly of all, what is it? So the first question you're asking yourself is what? It's a part of PE and it's a part of the national curriculum. The second thing you're asking is who must teach it? Now I'm actually giving you Cornell questions here. So who must teach it? Okay, it must be taught by specialist outdoor education staff. Where must it take place? Well, obviously it must take place in the translation from outdoor, so in the natural environment. And what is there an element of? And this is really important you make notes on this. When you take part in outdoor education, there's an element of risk, but you have to make notes here and say that there are 2 types of risk. The first risk is perceived risk. Now perceived risk is basically a controlled risk, and that controlled risk would mean you're climbing with a harness on, and it might be on a climbing wall inside, for example. However, there's the other type of risk is real risk. Now, real risk is uncontrolled risk, and this is when you're on the outdoors. You might not have a harness, okay? You might just be climbing. There could be an avalanche, it could be kind of changing weather conditions, and this is a real risk. So there's 2 types of risk. In the exam, it might ask you for a difference between them, but more than likely, you just have to say there is an element of risk. That's the basic part of it. So going on from there then, the benefits. Now the benefits are exactly the same. Remember, there is not a unique set of benefits for education, physical and outdoor, but they have a couple of extras to our categories that we usually use. We always use personal, we always use physical, we always use social, and we always use mental. What we have to do is add some slight variation. So we need to add preparation, obviously. So if I go down to here, we've got physical, personal, preparation, quality. So qualitative is something that needs to go on there, or quality of life. And then you've got cognitive, which is another way of using mental. So what I'm saying from this then, you know, now we've done the lesson on majority, if you've done the lesson on the cognitive theory of learning, if we start down there, the cognitive benefit of taking part in outdoor education, by the way, if we go back up here, if we're saying that the example we have to use for all of these benefits is rock climbing. So every time we talk about it, we're talking about rock climbing as our EG. For each of these benefits, that's the point. We then have to explain the point, given a term. Then we have to give an EG link to rock climbing specifically. So cognitive. So cognitive benefit or mental benefit is you develop problem solving skills. Problem solving skills might be choosing the correct route or the best route up the top of the mountain. Okay. Then improve quality of life. How do you improve the quality of life by taking part in rock climbing? Well, you develop an aesthetic appreciation of correct climbing technique. Now you might put some specific terms like bouldering or cornering. Then you go on to preparation. So there are preparation values. So basically, if you go take part in an outdoor ed or you take part in climbing, it prepares you for a career as a rock climbing or an outdoor adventure instructor. And then you go on to personal, as we've used all the time throughout. Personal is another word for self. You improve your self-esteem. Your self-esteem can be improved in rock climbing and get to the top of the mountain. And finally, you've got physical benefits, which are kind of, you remember, you have to give a component of physical fitness. You can't just say fitness. So improved muscular endurance by repeated climbing of mountains. Okay, that would make sense. Now, they are your key bits. Remember, every word, every kind of category needs a key term. Every key term needs a link to rock climbing. You do that, you'll be sorted. Now, bear in mind, we haven't put social down as social, so you can develop communication, teamwork, leadership skills from taking part in outdoor education. That is something I would definitely put on, because what they'll try to do sometimes is give a 6-mark question on the benefits. They've done it before for PE, okay, so 6 benefits. So what we need to be ready for is outdoor education. Can we give 6 benefits? If you can put social on there and add in that kind of concept of teamwork, positive relationships, I think teamwork is the best way to apply positive relationships there. So going on then, okay, if outdoor education's got all these benefits, why is it that it's not done by every school? Okay, so going through from there. Now, if I look through on here, you're basically going on here. So you've got it. Constraints. What are the constraints on widespread participation in outdoor education? So firstly, there's a lack of specialist staff. Okay, there's a lack of specialist staff who are qualified within PE staff. Okay, that's the first thing. The next thing is, and if I can get you to write this, I'm not gonna. It's not. I'm going to say it. It's not actually on the screen. There is a lack of funding. Now, there's a lack of funding for equipment, for facilities, for transport. Okay, that's one of the first things. The next thing. There is a lack of specialist facilities often in the local area, so it means that people have to travel a long way to go and do it. Okay, then there's a lack of. It lacks the fact that it's compulsory. It's not compulsory in the national curriculum, so it's not compulsory. Why would staff put themselves at risk of a kind of a fatality when it's not compulsory? Okay, so that's one of the things that causes a problem. Yes, it's part of PE. Yes, it's a part of the national curriculum, but it's not a compulsory part, so people don't do it. And finally, the big key constraints is such health and safety concerns and risk assessments, etc. that have to be done to do it. It causes problems. So there's a few things you could put. Make sure. If this comes up, you feel, that you can have a good go at it. If it would say this was a 5-mark question, describe 5 constraints on widespread participation in outdoor education. Okay, so a lack of who, a lack of what. Okay, what is it not? Okay, and why? Why is it that people don't want to do it? Okay, so you say in there, who, what, why? Why don't people want to do it? And then we've talked about the other thing on funding, a lack of funding as well. Thank you.